Welcome to 2K Sport. Bringing you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we'll be hearing from our reporter, Allie LaForce, in the sidelines as well. And, of course, Tyrese Haliburton. This is first game in his new Phoenix Suns uniform.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and, man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level, and I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
And the rejection by Giannis. And the dunk by Smith.
Speed. JR makes a living driving to the hoop.
You know, GA, it seems like a lot of players welcome the opportunity to play in Phoenix. Talk about what makes this market to a player so appealing.
I mean, the weather has a lot to do with it, right? Basketball is a winter sport, so for those snowbirds out there, Arizona is a great choice.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor, not even close to being a legal screen.
Well, my feeling is you just want to make sure it's called consistently both ways.
Now, here is Haliburton. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Just 5 on the clock. Phoenix needs to get off his shot. And the wide open shot from Reed. That's good, and it's Haliburton with the assist.
An unpredictable guard. Haliburton has a great feel for who to score and when to pass.
Smith on the wing. Kicks it out to Giannis. Up and in on the layup.
And you love watching Giannis operate inside. So assertive enforcement.
In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. Another three for Phoenix.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Smith outside. Screen by Antetokounmpo. To the middle. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Antetokounmpo's got his second basket of the night.
It may be the most bankable play in this offense. Antetokounmpo on the roll with the finish.
Here's Reed, and a miss there on the triple.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession. All the officials are all over that one.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And Smith is known as a streaky shooter, but when he gets hot, boy, he is really fun to watch.
And, Greg, you watch Jalen Green, so much upside potential.
Yeah, he can be streaky, but one of the most combustible scorers in the league. When he's on, he can take over single-handedly.
Haliburton outside, and it's Williams throwing it down.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
That is just beautiful ball movement, unselfish basketball.
And slam dunk by Ivy.
And man, can Ivy fly. I mean, a big-time finisher.
On the wing, DiVincenzo. Back to Haliburton. Out to Kirilenko. That's good, and it's Haliburton with the assist.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Making it look simple. The athleticism of Giannis on full display.
Haliburton feeling it out a bit. Now Williams. Giannis grabs the miss. They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
And here's Vassell from the arc. Rebound by the Suns. A 3 for DiVincenzo. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Inside. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
And he's not the biggest guy, but Vassell can get up there when he needs to.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Good on both. Now here's Giannis. He has 6. Here's Ivy, and they'll get another chance. And so it's Phoenix holding on to an 8-point lead, heading in. To the break. To shoot. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Suns.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
And they're also focusing on their break, looking for any chance they can to push the pace and get out in transition.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Thank you, guys. Well, Giannis Antetokounmpo is unlocking a new aspect of his game. He said, quote, "I never initiate my offense from the high post, but Doc told me that you can be very effective there. It's hard for people to show a crowd, and you're one step closer to the basket. I plan to stay there for the rest of my career." Kevin, back to you.
Clearly a new wrinkle. All right, Allie, as always, we thank you. The Suns making a change here. Here's Anthony. Tim is one of the most accurate three-point shooters this league has ever seen. Give us your top shooters in the game today.
Yeah, it's funny because you always say, well, obviously Steph, so it's almost like any conversation puts him in a different category. I obviously agree with that. I look at a guy like Damian Lillard with that unlimited range and his ability to pull up from anywhere. Even a guy like Trae Young, I would put into that category because of the range, Kevin. It just extends defenses so far.
What a list.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Anthony. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And that is a high-quality shot. You will take it every time from that close.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Well, oftentimes illegal screens fall into a gray area, but that time he got called for it.
Goodwin, good.
Every coach in this league loves assisted baskets. It indicates your offense is flowing the way it's supposed to.
And timeout called by Doc Rivers. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guy. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Jackson looking around. It's tipped. Bucks trailed by 13. Stolen by Reed. Halliburton with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Gillespie gets the three-pointer to fall.
Oh, great ball movement there.
There's a screen by Porter. Off the run. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. The Bucks shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of it.
And that's out of bounds. It was last touched by Halliburton. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Also, the ball handler needs to wait until the screener's feet are set.
And so now a timeout called by Doc Rivers. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Suns leading by 16. Lays it up off the glass. Halliburton's got his first bucket of the night.
And when you have Halliburton's size as a guard, you should be comfortable working inside.
And when Tyrese Halliburton entered the NBA, Greg, scouts were worried about his shot release point.
It's definitely lower than you would teach, but by the same token, that's why he gets it off so quickly, making it a tough shot to contest.
Well, the defense needs to be better there. They gave way too much space.
Gillespie, that's good.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
1:21 left in the first half of the game. Smith, no luck.
You have to defend the three-point line. They got lucky he missed that one.
Inside Kirilenko. Good. The nice assist for Williams. Kirilenko's got 5 points so far.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And timeout called by Doc Rivers. He's ready to talk things through with them. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Bucks trailed by 19. And here's Antetokounmpo outside. Rebounded by Anthony. Here's Williams. And he misses the fast break layup.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Can't believe he missed that. Looked like a loss of focus.
And he drops in the layup off the glass.
No, I'm not shy about bringing it inside. Vassell is comfortable around the hoop.
Anthony taking his time here. Pass to DiVincenzo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Williams. Driving inside. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, the way this game is going, I'm actually not surprised it was that easy for him.
A 3 for DiVincenzo. And so it's Phoenix with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we've got more on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway.
Well, he's a little bit older now, but Paul George showing you he still has great verticality.
Here's Halliburton. Outside, Reed. He's looking for DiVincenzo and finds him to the paint. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Bucks trailed by 17. On the wing, Giannis. 8 points for him. Vassell outside. George sets a screen. Vassell wide open. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Vassell's got 6 points.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, and that's the effectiveness of the two-man game right there.
And Halliburton not afraid to work for it on offense, taking the contact and still getting the finish.
Giannis inside. A good portion of the scoring has come from him. He averages more than 18 points a game. And here's Halliburton. He'll bring it up for Phoenix. We'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. And that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home. To the inside. Kick out to Giannis. Beyond the arc. It's hauled in by the Suns. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. That's good, and it's Halliburton with the assist. He's got 17.
And, boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
And that confidence has carried over to tonight. He is playing great basketball.
And so now a timeout called by Doc Rivers. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And here's Ivy. Prince the screen. George. And the Bucks miss again.
He typically dominates that area of the floor. It just didn't drop.
Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thanks. Technology is key for NBA growth. Commissioner Silver said we can now see where we lose viewers, for example, stoppages or replays. One way around that is creating technology that can instantaneously make objective calls like out of bounds, and in doing so, create a better pace to the game. Guys, back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you for the report. And here's the fast break. Giannis leading the way.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Left side, Williams. Stolen by Prince. Fast break, Milwaukee. Looking to end the run. The shot by Ivy, no good.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
It's good from long range. O'Neal's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Tim, you once led the NBA in three-point percentage, and in my mind's eye, I can see almost every shot. You were terrific shooting the long ball.
Well, Kevin, I don't want to show my age, but do you know, after 4 years of high school and 2 years of college, making 25-foot-2s, I finally had a three-point line going into my junior year, and I'm just glad I had a three-point line for my entire NBA career.
Yeah, it's a tough transition to make to stretch out and go those extra couple feet.
No doubt. I was not ready to make NBA level threes when I first came out of college. A year overseas really helped me gain strength, and finally I found my rhythm in the NBA.
Pass to Williams. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. The Suns making a switch here. So it's the Bucks now. Ivy with it. Outside for George. It's up a three. Offensive rebound. Giannis on the follow.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
On the wing, Williams. Here's Goodwin. Phoenix, no good that time either.
He created the opening. He got the angle. Unfortunately, that miss is just on him. That's a great look. His teammate was on the move, but he put it right where it needed to be.
And timeout called by Jordan Ott. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Milwaukee making a switch. Back to Halliburton. And the rejection by Jang. Here's Rollins. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Phoenix Suns closing out the quarter with a 20. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Suns leading by 20. Now DiVincenzo. Pass to Halliburton. Over Jackson. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And Milwaukee has possession. Prince in the post. And he banks in the layup.
Well, you want those shots anytime you can get a high percentage at the rim.
And here is DiVincenzo. From outside, off the mark. And stolen by DiVincenzo. Porter with the steal. And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way.
And this is how you execute in transition. Porter Jr. enjoys leaking out and running all over the defense.
Now, here is Halliburton. And Reed has it in the corner. Off target with his three. Bucks trail by 16. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And finished off by Jang.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. Reed. Pass to DiVincenzo. And the three ball is good. DiVincenzo's got 20.
Well, his team is up, and he's a big reason why. And it's a little easier to shoot when you know you've got an advantage on the scoreboard.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. Suns lead by 17. Williams outside. Back to Reed. And here's DiVincenzo from the arc. And the Suns another three.
He was red hot from the three in the first half, and he is showing no signs of slowing down.
From deep, George drained from outside.
And you see Paul George right there, not backing down at all, coming right back with a three of his own.
First team foul.
They lead by 17. Halliburton outside. Here's Reed. Jacks up a three. Drains it from beyond the arc.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Well, they certainly have the shooters to do it. It's just about finding that rhythm.
Tim, in your career, you played at every level of basketball, pro and college and before. What's the single biggest change in your mind as far as professional basketball outside the NBA?
Well, Kevin, I think globally the level of play has just risen dramatically. There's a much greater belief now that you can actually make it to the league, even if you're playing outside this country. And then the G League has created a much more streamlined path for those who want to work their way into the league.
G League has been terrific.
Sure has.
Halliburton outside. 5 on the clock. And the layup falls. And the Suns lead by 19.
And Halliburton doesn't get rattled easily. He's the depth at finding ways to finish through contact.
With the drive, the shot by Ivy, no good.
Whoops. Got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack. And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Phoenix.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-gamer.
It's George on the wing. Down low. Put it down hard!
Watch out below.
Woo! And he jams it in.
Nice recognition by George to set up a teammate.
Halliburton drills it from outside.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
And this run should seal this win. What a timely burst.
And that one is good. They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
And stolen by Ivy. There's the drive. Oh, no good on the dunk. So it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much down.
This is Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we'll be hearing from our reporter, Allie LaForce, on the sidelines as well.
The Nuggets here looking to pick one up here on the road before returning to Denver.
And, of course, Jalen Duren.
And it's our first glimpse of him, looking good in his new Nuggets jersey.
Well, we're about to see what the buzz around the league is all about here. Is it going to be just hype or will it be reality? We will find out here soon enough, along with the fans in this arena and the people watching at home.
And when Tyrese Halliburton entered the NBA, Greg, scouts were worried about his shot release point.
It's definitely lower than you would teach, but by the same token, that's why he gets it off so quickly, making it a tough shot to contest.
So it's Denver now. Near the three-point line, it's Doncic. Cans the shot with nobody near him.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, and that's the effectiveness of the two-man game right there.
Now here is Kirilenko. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
Well, my feeling is you just want to make sure it's called consistently both ways.
Kept alive. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
I caught up with the head coach for Phoenix. We discussed the challenge of defending Luka Doncic specifically in the pick and roll. Coach wasn't afraid to voice his concerns. He said, quote, that's where Luka poses the most problems. The main thing is we have to be quick to react. If we're a step slow, when they're in that set, he'll burn us. Guys?
All right, Allie, thank you so much for that. Here's Doncic. Reed with the rebound. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. And now, running up the court, Pierce pushing it up. Outside Gordon. Frames the three-pointer.
Hey, when Gordon's knocking down shots off the catch, it just opens up his entire game.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Halliburton deciding where to go with it. He gets it in there.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
And we knew coming into this game, we expected him to be very involved early.
Just a super unselfish guy. Doncic is all for getting his guys going. Enjoys setting the table.
Denver shooting their first free throw of the night here. Jalen Duren has certainly forced him in this NBA. He's a nightly double-double.
Well, he looks like a bouncer at a nightclub, but you forget how young this guy is. If he keeps improving like this, Kevin, he has a chance to be one of the premier bigs in this league.
I was going to say the same thing about you, but I'll call you a Greek god as opposed to a bouncer in a bar. How's that?
I much prefer the Greek god description.
Halliburton with it. Duren picks him up. And it's Halliburton missing. And so it's Payne who brings up the ball for Denver. Kicks it out to Gordon. And he uses the glass on the layup. Gordon's got 5 now.
And there's just so much athleticism to Gordon's game. Good luck trying to contain him inside.
Substitution on the court.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Duren a screen. The drive by Doncic. Here's Pierce. And then Pierce with a dunk.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. Pass to Gillespie. Back to Anthony. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Suns shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And no good on the technical, so unable to pick that one up. You know, GA, it seems like a lot of players welcome the opportunity to play in Phoenix. Talk about what makes this market to a player so appealing.
I mean, the weather has a lot to do with it, right? Basketball is a winter sport, so for those snowbirds out there, Arizona's a great choice.
Denver with the ball after the Suns pick up 2. Stolen away. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Gillespie. Now Williams. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Can't get it to fall. And it's Pierce in the corner. No good from outside. Over in the corner, Williams. Got it off in time. At the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Nuggets lead by 2. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Well, it is tough to lose when you get that many more chances to score.
Now here's Murray. Right side, Pierce. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And one way Valanciunas generates offense, using that big body to snare the board and keep the play alive.
Here's Halliburton. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. To the paint, and stolen by Murray. Pierce wide open. He fires. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Pass to DiVincenzo. Finished off the break. DiVincenzo's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
And it results in the highest percentage look you're going to get.
Now here's Murray. Scoreless thus far. The 3-ball. Reed with the rebound.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
He didn't quite get a hand on it, but he did enough to affect the miss.
Go into the rack with energy. Isn't the D afraid to cut him off?
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Well, defensively, you can't allow that in a game this close.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. So for the Suns, and you think of the different styles of play, Tim, is there one that you prefer watching?
I personally like variety, Kevin. I like certainly three-point shooting. That's how I made my living. But I also want to see post play. And I want to see teams that also can beat you with isolation sets as well. I think those are the toughest teams to defend. They can hit you from any area.
They sure can.
Dead-eye shooting from them this quarter.
It's Pierce on the wing. The shot from 20 feet away. Valanciunas. Great positioning on the putback.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Greg, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Now here's Anthony. Still scoreless. And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
He is just trying to make an impact by disrupting their rhythm.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Denver Nuggets. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Screened by Valanciunas. Murray. The teardrop falls in. And the Nuggets lead by 2.
And there's an aggression to Murray's game. Willing to battle there for the bucket.
Down low. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, I thank you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust.
Denver substitution.
There's 1:47 left in the second quarter. And they double up Doncic. Pass to Valanciunas. Back to Doncic. In the corner, Murray with it. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Murray's got 5.
Really, Murray can hit from anywhere on the arc. The corner three is just another trick he has up his sleeve.
Denver leading by 3. And they double up Doncic. Taken away by Williams. And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, what Luka Doncic does with the ball in his hands is never predetermined. He said, quote, "I just see what the defense gives me. It's never the same decision. It's a lot of factors. You've got to look at who's guarding you, if the shot's going in or not. There's a lot to think about and then decide." Kevin, back to you.
He keeps them guessing. Allie, we thank you very much. Doncic with the steal. And they double up Doncic. Gordon with it. 7 points in the game. Just 4 to shoot. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Number 47, Andre Kirilenko.
Outside Anthony. There's a good screen to the inside.
What a heads-up pass to know that his teammate was going to be available down in the paint.
Here's Doncic with 2 seconds left for 3. Murray, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. The Nuggets on top, up 1. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Here's Murray. Pass to Pierce. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
And what you love about Bane is just how hard he works. His drive to keep getting better on display.
Now here's Murray. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
The Suns trailing. Screen by O'Neal. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. That's good, and it's Haliburton with the assist. DiVincenzo's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. And here is Murray. 5 points in the game. Duran a screen. 5 to shoot. It's hauled in by the Suns. Second half rolling along now. About a minute play here. Down low. Haliburton puts it in.
When he wants to, Haliburton can get to the hoop. Boy, he is tough to slow down.
It's Pierce on the wing. Back to Murray. Right side Pierce. From the baseline. Off the left rim and out.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
And he doesn't have to do it alone. He's got 4 teammates on the floor.
In the corner, O'Neal with it. Here's Kirilenko, and the layup falls. And now a 5-point Suns lead.
Well, all systems go here early on. That's 3 in a row since Jump Street.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. coach needs a moment to talk things over. Denver making a switch here.
Number 77.
The Nuggets trailed by 5. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now.
Doncic right at the doorstep.
And guys, the intelligence is evident. When the pick comes, Doncic often makes the right read.
And as the days and months go by, Greg, it still may take us some time to get over the shock of last season's trade of Luka Doncic.
And we know the question marks as far as conditioning and defense that led to it. But hard to bet against a talent of his caliber.
Well, after nailing the first 3 out of the break, you can give him a pass for not making that one as well.
The 3-ball from Doncic.
And we know Doncic has limitless range, but for him, it's about becoming more consistent from deep.
And it's Halliburton penetrating. That one falls. Halliburton's got 4 points this quarter.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
The Suns leading. Here's DiVincenzo. It's blocked.
Yeah, going straight up with those long arms. Duran flat out a brick wall around the rim.
.146 left to play here in the third. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Denver.
And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. He's ready to talk things through with them.
So both teams making some changes here.
There's 1:38 left in the third quarter of the game. Outside, Pierce. At the elbow, Doncic. Just 5 to shoot. Inside, Valanciunas. Good, and the assist goes to Doncic. Valanciunas has got 6.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
And they call an illegal screen here.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Also, the ball handler needs to wait until the screener's feet are set.
Here's Valanciunas. Doncic with it. Williams picks him up. Stolen by Kirilenko. To the middle. Here's DiVincenzo. And he drops in the layup off the glass. DiVincenzo's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grind-it-out game.
To the paint. Here's Pierce. And it's Pierce with the jam.
What a great pass. It was on time and on target.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Halliburton up top. 8 points for him. And it's Williams throwing it down.
An unpredictable guard. Halliburton has a great feel for when to score and when to pass.
So David Adelman's decided to call a timeout here. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. .11 seconds left here in the third quarter. Screened by Valanciunas. Over Williams. It's off. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Suns lead by 2. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of... And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Here's Halliburton. Pass to DiVincenzo. No good on the triple. The Nuggets trail. Inside. O'Neal with the steal. Halliburton right side. Outside, Reed. Back to Halliburton. Halliburton muscles through the contact. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Suns.
And they've shown great focus on the defensive end, putting constant pressure on the ball and really disruptive in terms of what they've done defensively.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been, clearly working to their advantage so far.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Yeah, not only does he create the space he needs, but then he attacks downhill.
Stolen by Reed. Pass to DiVincenzo. Now, here's Reed. Clock at 6. And Reed throws it down.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
And so David Adelman calls the timeout. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. Both teams will make substitutions. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
I was able to listen in on what Denver's coach was going over with his team. He likes the way they're finishing inside. Coach said when we get close, we are golden. They can't stop us in there. Let's keep pounding it as long as we can.
Allie, thank you so much.
The orchestrator, Doncic, knows where everyone is at all times and completely dictates the pace.
Takes the three. He drills the three.
I love the unselfishness, and you know coaches do as well.
His willingness to share the ball elevates this offense.
Now Doncic. Valanciunas. He parachutes in for the putback.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Here's DiVincenzo. Now Reed. And he jams it in.
Very few young players see the floor as well as Halliburton. It really shows just how impressive his ceiling is as a playmaker.
Gordon. Off target from outside.
Yeah, I think he forced that a little bit there. Should have tried for a higher percentage look from the three.
Now Halliburton. Dunked it home, running inside.
And once Halliburton hits his stride, there's just very little you can do defensively, proving how dominant he can be.
Trying again. Doncic left side. That does not go. Halliburton with it. Pierce with the steal. Doncic fires. Williams with the rebound.
Well, if you take low percentage shots, you are going to have difficulty making them.
Here's DiVincenzo. Halliburton outside. Oh, man!
Saw the opportunity to put this away, and you can see the killer instinct take over.
They are playing with so much confidence. They've been clutch all the way around.
They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
For three. Valanciunas with the rebound. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. They trail by 11. Here is Gordon. It's off.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, the timing was a little bit off, and it forced the miss.
So it's the Suns winning easily here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt